Welcome back to the channel. On this channel we explore the darkest corners of the world where shadows whisper and nightmares come to life. Tonight we delve into the chilling tales of abandoned lighthouses, beacons of hope now consumed by darkness. So dim the lights, turn up the volume and prepare yourself. The journey into the unknown begins now. Nestled on the coastline of Florida, the St. Augustine Lighthouse has stood for centuries, a silent sentinel against the crashing waves, but its stony facade hides a troubled past, whispered among the locals and etched into the very walls of the tower. It's said that the lighthouse is haunted by the spirits of two young girls who met an untimely end. Their laughter, once a sound of joy, now echoes through the empty halls, a chilling reminder of their tragic fate. Some say the girls were the daughters of the lighthouse keeper, their playful afternoon cut short by a tragic accident. Others whisper of a storm, a rogue wave that swept them away into the unforgiving sea. Whatever the truth, their presence lingers. Visitors claim to hear the giggling of children, feel icy hands tugging at their clothes, catch fleeting glimpses of ghostly figures dancing in the lantern room. Our journey begins with a man named Elias, a former lighthouse keeper who claimed to have encountered the ghostly children firsthand. Elias, a grizzled veteran of the sea, known for his stoic demeanor and unwavering courage, found himself shaken to his core by the events that transpired within those haunted walls. He described the laughter as starting subtly, a faint whisper carried on the breeze. At first he dismissed it as a trick of the wind, a figment of his imagination. But as the laughter grew louder, more insistent, Elias knew that something was amiss. He cautiously made his way up the winding stairs, each step echoing ominously in the silence. The air grew colder, the sweet scent of salt water replaced by a cloying, almost floral odor. As he reached the lantern room, the laughter reached a fever pitch, swirling around him like a vortex of despair. And then he saw them, two young girls, their spectral forms shimmering in the ethereal glow of the lighthouse lamp. They were dressed in old-fashioned clothing, their faces pale and drawn, their eyes wide with a mixture of mischief and sorrow. Elias, a man of the sea, a man who had stared death in the face countless times, felt a shiver run down his spine. He tried to speak, to rationalize, to convince himself it was a hallucination, but the words caught in his throat. The girls continued to laugh, their ghostly forms flitting around the room, their laughter echoing through the empty tower, a haunting melody that sent chills down Elias's spine. For weeks after the encounter, Elias was haunted by the spectral laughter. Driven to the brink by the relentless haunting, Elias eventually abandoned his post, unable to bear the weight of the ghostly presence any longer. To this day, the St. Augustine Lighthouse stands as a beacon, a warning to those who dare to underestimate the power of the supernatural. Perched precariously on the edge of the Chesapeake Bay, the Point Lookout Lighthouse casts a lonely shadow over the churning waters. This lighthouse, once a symbol of hope for sailors lost at sea, now stands as a testament to the enduring power of the past, its existence forever intertwined with the specter of a former keeper, a man known only as Captain Jeremiah. Captain Jeremiah, a man of the sea through and through, dedicated his life to the lighthouse, his watchful eye guiding countless ships to safety. But fate, as it so often does, had a cruel twist in store for the old captain. One stormy night, as the waves crashed against the rocky shore with relentless fury, tragedy struck. The lantern, the lighthouse's very lifeblood, flickered and died, plunging the coastline into darkness. Frantic, Captain Jeremiah battled his way up the treacherous stairs, the wind howling like a banshee, the tower swaying precariously. He managed to relight the lamp, but in a cruel twist of fate, a monstrous wave slammed into the lighthouse, tearing him from his post and dragging him into the raging sea. His body was never recovered. Now it's said that Captain Jeremiah, his soul tethered to the lighthouse he loved, still roams the tower, a spectral guardian forever bound to his duty. Visitors and keepers alike have reported strange occurrences, unexplained noises and chilling apparitions. Footsteps echo through the empty halls, the heavy tread of a seasoned sailor, the rhythmic clang of a pipe against the metal railing. Some claim to have seen a shadowy figure, clad in a tattered captain's coat, his face obscured by the darkness, his one good eye glowing with an eerie, otherworldly light. He appears without warning, a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of your eye, a presence felt rather than seen. Then, just as quickly, he vanishes, leaving behind the faint scent of salt water and a lingering sense of unease. There's a story passed down through generations of lighthouse keepers about a young man named Thomas, assigned to point lookout for his first tour of duty. Thomas, eager to prove himself, scoffed at the tales of the phantom keeper, dismissing them as superstitious nonsense. One night, a fierce storm raged, mirroring the night of Captain Jeremiah's demise. As the storm reached its peak, the lighthouse lamp, as if guided by an unseen hand, suddenly went dark. Thomas, his heart pounding in his chest, made his way up the winding stairs, the wind threatening to tear him from his precarious perch. As he reached the lantern room, he saw him. The phantom keeper's gaze, filled with a mixture of sadness and warning, pierced through Thomas's very soul. High atop the rugged cliffs of the Oregon coast stands the Hessiter Head Lighthouse, its beacon cutting through the dense fog that often blankets the coastline. This lighthouse, known for its breathtaking beauty and tragic history, is said to be haunted by a spirit known only as the Wailing Woman. Her mournful cries, a chilling reminder of the sorrow that lingers within those ancient walls. The story begins with a tragic love affair, a tale as old as time itself. A young woman, heartbroken and driven to despair by the loss of her lover at sea, sought solace within the walls of the lighthouse. Legend has it that she would spend her days gazing out at the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, her heart heavy with grief, her mind slowly unraveling under the weight of her sorrow. One stormy night, unable to bear the pain any longer, she climbed the winding stairs to the top of the lighthouse and cast herself into the churning waves below, her anguished cries swallowed by the roar of the wind and the crashing waves. Now, it's said that her restless spirit remains forever bound to the lighthouse, her mournful cries echoing through the night, a chilling siren song that sends shivers down the spines of those who hear it. Visitors and keepers alike have reported hearing the Wailing Woman's cries, a haunting melody that seems to seep from the very walls of the lighthouse. Her sorrow is palpable, a heavy presence that hangs in the air, a constant reminder of the tragic love and unbearable loss that binds her to this earthly realm. There's a story, often whispered among the locals, about a group of paranormal investigators who dared to spend the night within the lighthouse, their goal to capture evidence of the Wailing Woman's existence. They set up their equipment, cameras and audio recorders, their excitement palpable as they eagerly anticipated their encounter with the unknown. As the night wore on, the atmosphere within the lighthouse grew heavy, the air thick with anticipation. And then they heard it, a low, mournful wail echoing through the empty halls, seeming to emanate from the very walls themselves. The investigators, their initial excitement replaced by a growing sense of unease, followed the sound, their cameras rolling, their hearts pounding in their chests. The wailing grew louder as they approached the top of the lighthouse, the air growing colder, the sweet scent of salt water replaced by a cloying, almost floral odor. As they reached the lantern room, the wailing reached a fever pitch, swirling around them like a vortex of despair. And then they saw her, a translucent figure, her form shimmering in the ethereal glow of the lighthouse lamp, stood at the railing, her back to them, her body swaying slightly as if moved by an unseen force. The Wailing Woman's face, pale and drawn, was etched with a grief so profound, so raw, that it sent chills down their spines. Thank you for venturing into the shadows with us tonight. The tales of these haunted lighthouses serve as chilling reminders that some places hold on to the echoes of the past, their very foundations steeped in sorrow and mystery. If you found these stories as unsettling as I did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next descent into darkness. Until next time, keep your lights on and sleep tight, if you can.